We learned our perfect Spanish from my parents. And they would always say, when you go to school, you can always learn English, which now they contradict themselves, that if we learn our Spanish first, that we would never be able to read or write in English or learn is not true, because that was our language. And that's why we're Mexican Americans, and I'm so proud to be a Mexican American. I don't claim anything else.
In the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, speaking Spanish was not popular. It was frowned upon. In the late 50s, it was banned in Texas in public schools. And we all seen the signs: no dogs or Spanish, no dogs or Mexicans. We were always below the dogs.
It is a great honor to stand here today, 60 years after my father started the first full-time Spanish language radio station, KCOR AM 1350 on the dial. And 50 years later, after the first full-time Spanish language television station, KCOR TV, Channel 41 went on the air in San Antonio, Texas. My father would be very proud to know he was a part of history and of building something so deeply important to our Hispanic community all over this great country.
My father, Emilio Nicolas, was one of the three founders of what is now Univision. My grandfather, Raul Cortez, was the founder and pioneer of Spanish language radio and television in the United States. And they were not going to fail, because if they failed, not only would they not have anything to support their family with, but more importantly, they were going to fail for, in their minds, an entire people.
Having a station gave us a platform on which to help our people. It was and is an important tool in helping to effect change.
My mother's legacy is part of all of that. My father could not have ever accomplished the things that he did without his partner of 67 years. I have no doubt about that. He and Mom were so proud of San Antonio and dedicated to it that they built the center of operations for the television network in San Antonio. Not New York, not Miami, not Los Angeles.
Hi, my name is Dr. Laura Barberena, and in 2012, I interviewed Irma Nicolas while I was a graduate student at UT Austin. Today, I'm a political consultant in San Antonio, Texas. But what I remember about that interview is the way Irma held herself. She had such elegance and grace, and she remembered so many details of her life growing up.
It was my pleasure as a young lady to have worked with my father as his girl Friday. I loved selling $5 spots on the radio to husbands that wanted to serenade their wives and mothers on Mother's Day.
Latinos don't get credit for a lot of the pioneering efforts that we've made. Women don't get any of the credit for having been vital and integral parts of those men's lives and of their success. And my grandmother, Genoveva Valdez Cortez, and my mother, Irma Alicia Cortez Nicolas, were integral parts of that business and of that philosophy and of the decency and the kindness and the perseverance that it took to build that business and to not be discouraged by decades of bigotry and racism.
And I felt at the time that I was really capturing history of Latino media in a way that had never been captured before. She shared stories about her husband, her father, and it was such a privilege to be able to sit down with her for an extended period of time to do this interview.
The Latino youth of this country needs to know about all of us that have accomplished something. I think we have to let our youth know that we are business people, we are politicians, we are lawyers and doctors who have accomplished great things. We can't just be the sum of one or two people.
from the Bracero program between Mexico and the United States in the 40s to immigration reform today. The airwaves do belong to our people of our nation, no matter what language they prefer, and it has been a great honor to have served all of our public. Muchas gracias y Dios los bendiga.